halftime on the Rod Pedersen Show.
So anyways, I wrote a column previewing the Grey Cup, and I said that the BC Lions were going to speedboat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They were just going to motorboat them. I said this is going to be the biggest double-digit speedboating since the 1997 Grey Cup when the Argos did it to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Well, at the day before news conference, Paul LaPolice, which the last time he was on this show said he loved me. You remember that, right? He did. He comes up to me after the news conference, and he was just, he's a coach, right? Like they sometimes a little psycho. And he's like, read your article. And he sticks his hand out. He's just like crunching my hand. Thanks a lot. And I'm like, I got to write an article, Lapos. What I think's going to happen. I'm sorry. I think you're going to get rolled. Go out there and prove me wrong. And I wasn't cheering against Winnipeg, but I was cheering for my prediction to be right.
Of course.
Because I was just getting hammered on by Bomber fans. And then I was in the press box watching the game. And in the fourth quarter, early in the some of you will go look it up, but the Lions went up into double digits, and it was putting the pedal to the metal. Go back and look it up. It was the biggest motorboating since the 1997 Grey Cup. I had it right.
Walking the walk and talking the talk. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Overall, with the protected list being announced on Sunday, who are the names that might be called tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a guy to put on the billboards going I-5 in Seattle, Everett, you're looking at Mark Giordano on being one of those boards pretty quick.
How about that?
And I'd be floored if Seattle didn't already have him flying in today and have his jersey ready for him, and he's walking on stage tomorrow.
Good morning, Rod Squad.
Hey, yes, and we're on the air. Welcome to the RP show, everybody. Big day. What day is it? Wednesday?
Yeah, I guess so.
July the 21st. We don't have the comments yet, boys. We had a wonderful morning meeting, and you were in and out of that.
Yeah.
The family of squirrels shared our nuts and went our separate ways.
Pretty much. That's how we roll.
We are live on the Game Plus TV network all across North America, all 10 provinces and 31 states. For some reason, my head, what is this, man? I'm like Murphy Brown going through secretaries and, you know what I mean? Where's the comments? I need to hear from people. Thank you.
They are.
Ta-da! Comments just showed up. And thank you for that, guys. Why are we even having an expansion draft party tonight?
I know.
The Seattle Kraken had to submit their picks for tonight's expansion draft by 10 a.m. Eastern, and it's all spilling out now. And thankfully, we've got all of hour one to, for the most part, to talk about what's going down today. And, well, the breaking news, I don't even know where to start. Carey Price not going to the Seattle Kraken, which if you'd been watching the show the last 2 days, I told you he wasn't. So think about it this way for a second. Not just the $10.5 million, not all of that, and the best goalie in the world. You know what cinched it for me when I knew that Carey Price wasn't going to Montreal or to Seattle?
What did?
When I thought, what happens if Seattle takes Carey Price and the Canadians lose their franchise face, rock star, for nothing? For nothing. Mark Bergevin, he wouldn't have done that. And when the fit hit the shan, Dominic Ducharme would have been sprayed too.
Yeah.
There was no way they were going to lose Carey Price. And I'm sorry to jump right into the deep end here, but why not? This is what's going on today. It's daytime sports talk. And by the way, Dustin Mikush and Matt Dunstone, they're coming in at the Block 3, right, Clark? Yeah. So anyway, I barely talked to Clark today because it was Rocco, it was Paul, a little bit with Nelson, yourself, and you're in a very fresh tracksuit today. Do you want to tell the viewers why you're doing it?
It's the Kraken suit. I don't have the logo embroidered on here
Not yet,
but it's the Kraken suit.
How about that?
How about that? Okay, so Randy Nichols watching in Cochrane, Alberta. He has written into the show. I'm checking my notifications here. He says, Mark Giordano is a Kraken, Rod. And Rich Sutter called it yesterday. He called it. He said they already got a jersey with his name on the back of it, Seattle. And the only reason that I'm pointing out that I'm right is that everybody else will point out when I'm wrong. So I got to point out when I'm right. So TSN with the notification here, Seattle Kraken have selected Calgary Flames captain Mark Giordano. And it's like, can you guys not keep a secret? What the heck? The whole team's going to be unveiled here.
Yeah.
It was Pierre LeBrun, who I really like, that guy from TSN, who said that, just so you know, Seattle's not taking Carey Price. He tweeted it first today. And I just think by 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, what's the point? And I was trying to remember what the heck you even call a party like we were trying to do. Like yesterday, Nelson and I were saying, what is it, a viewing party? It's been so long since we've done something like that.
Oh, I know.
And wasn't it you, Nelson, that said it's a watch party? Or somebody put it on our Instagram. I don't know.
Watch party.
It's a watch party.
It's a watch party.
So we're still having a watch party, and frankly, the only reason I'm going is because I want boneless, dry Greek ribs from the Four Seasons, because we're gonna know who the whole team is by then.
Well, what did they seal this envelope with? You know, you got somebody that's holding it up to the light, in the post office. That, and doesn't this, it feels a little bit like rewind the clock back to Justin Dunk when he made the appearance on Sportsnet on the CFL draft. Mm-hmm. It's all picked ahead of time. Like, he knows what's going. Like, he knew every single pick that was coming, and it feels like these insiders know the entire roster already.
Does the NHL even care? Does the NHL even care that this is all getting out? I wonder if they do. And James in Borden, Manitoba says, I don't think too many people are sad in Calgary. Well, let's hear from the Calgary people, okay? The Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. So it's Daytime Sports Talk. We're the only show on the continent that's talking sports right now live, particularly with these topics, the National Hockey League and everything else. And coming up in hour 2, our good friend Ian Furness from ESPN 710 Seattle. Talk show host out there, former voice of the Tri-City Americans and the Seattle Thunderbirds. Why didn't he get a look to be the voice of the Kraken? So those are our guests today, and let's hit the quick 6 show topics, please, Director. Thank you. We will get to your comments in a moment, but that's what's out of the barn. Giordano's a Kraken, Carey Price is not. So point 1, it's all in my quick 6, Moose.
Yeah.
Point 1 is Seattle expansion draft day. Woo-hoo. Like, by noon Mountain, we're not even going to be talking about it anymore. We're going to be moved on. We're going to know who the team is. But again, come on out to the Four Seasons Sports Palace tonight. You're home for the Seattle Kraken fan club. Actually, Nelson, would you mind running out and getting me that Kraken jersey? I'm in a Seattle state of mind today. What else is there to say? Point 2, Adam Larson, the free agent, was to be a pending free agent, signing with the Kraken today, a 4x4 deal, 4 years at $4 million per year. Just running on here. It's okay. We're not fancy. Well, not quite like that, but
You're good. Could have came around the back.
You could have come around the back, but that's okay. He's new. I'm not going to put it on. Believe me, I'm not going to put it on because I'm not fanboy. But I'll put it here.
Oh, yeah.
Or around here so people can see it.
Yeah, that's not being visible at all.
Seattle Kraken Day. That's what it is. Let's get Kraken. And that's the other thing. Adam Larson, 4x4. So he's $4 million a year. Then you can get a draft Carey Price for $14 million for 2 guys. There was never any way, and by the way, shame on the insiders who said this was going to happen, because there's no way it was going to happen. Anything else on this before I move on to point 3?
It's a lot of money, and it makes it really difficult to ice a really strong, deep, competitive team. And there are a lot of pieces out there. And again, it's up to Ron Francis. How do you want to arrange those pieces to have the best chance of success? And Carey Price is great. There's no question he's the best available. There's no question he's the top goaltender in the world. But the drop-off to all the other guys available, there are other suitable goaltenders. They'll be okay.
It doesn't take me long for people to get me annoyed. Johnny Schmidt's watching. John, the Habs fan, says, actually in Montreal on TSN 690, they've been talking about it all morning. Listening comprehension, people. I said there's nobody else on national television live talking about these topics. What'd I say?
Nobody else on
national television. John,
live.
pick it up. Come on, please. So I was saying to Darren, I don't mind saying this on our morning curb coffee session. And by the way, I really enjoy those. I hope you do as much as I do. We sit out on the curb in the sun and have coffee and talk, just the two of us. And I said, I'm tired. I'm jumping around on my points here. This was going to be point 5 on CFL notes. But I'm tired of telling people that I'm not the Rough Riders guy anymore. Like a guy wrote into our website yesterday and said, where's the list of rider cuts? I'm like, I don't know. They don't send them to me. I'm not going to run around and find them. You go find them. I'm not the guy to come to for Rough Riders information anymore. For 20 years I was. You're spoiled. But I'm not that guy anymore. And I said to Darren, I'm not going to stand here every day and say it because people aren't hearing it. They're going to have to understand it on their own.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that I'm not following the CFL or the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but I'm not following them to the degree that I was. I'm not the guy to come to for that information anymore. You're going to have to be on your own and go find it. But I'm not. Why am I saying it again today? Because they're not listening. Okay?
And you keep getting asked.
I keep getting asked. That's the point. Thank you. Every single day for this information. I don't have it. I'll come back on that. Point 3, did you watch the Milwaukee Bucks and the Suns last night?
Oh, yeah.
I was out doing a little shopping and had a bite, came back, and that's what I love about the NBA. You can for sure just watch the last 5 minutes, and it's all you need. Like, I'm sorry, don't at me. Usually by a football game, it's over by the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I got in with 10 minutes to go, and I'm like, this is perfect. But there was very little drama at the end of the game, right? The Bucks had it in the bag.
It was sloppy.
Yes.
It was a really sloppy game. The Suns made way too many mistakes in the game. Rebounding was poor, a lot of missed opportunities. And at the end of the game, which you would have saw in the last 10 minutes, open looks, and they just weren't precise. They weren't making shots. And they had many, many, many opportunities to get back into that game because Milwaukee wasn't sharp either.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the Greek Freak was amazing. That was one of the best performances we've seen in a long time in a finals. I mean,
it was amazing.
It was a statement for him, a real coming out party. He's now the guy in the NBA, but it was just too many mistakes by Phoenix. They had chances.
Okay, that's enough on the NBA. Other than point 4, because the owner, one of the owners, Mark Lasry, was presented the trophy last night. It's a long-time NBA thing, and people were upset that the owner got the trophy. Every year in the NBA, they do, the owner of the team. And I'm like, if you don't think that's right, then you don't know anything about sports. You don't know anything about ownership whatsoever. We're not playing without owners. You may not like them. These guys and gals put their balls on the table in the last year and a half because of the pandemic to play and absorb all these losses. I have zero problems with letting the owners take the trophy. They're the ones that are assuming all the risk. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets to be paid how much? $28 million a year and play a game that he'd play for free? You can wait, dude, because the owner's going to get the trophy because he's paying you. Giannis, you're rich. He's wealthy. There is a difference, and that's why I have no problem with owners being presented the trophies and the champion. Every league should do it. 95% of you in our Capital Automall Universal Collision Center say no, owners should not be presented trophies first. 95% of you have no idea how the world works. Are we straight? Woo! Are we straight?
We're straight. You got me.
Come on. You guys try being an owner for a day. Be sucking your thumb on the corner by 8 a.m. Point 5, CFL notes. I did an informal poll, and I'm not going to name the guys, okay? I don't want to out them. And you were on the phone with somebody earlier.
Yes.
So I said to, hey, you, guy, what do you think is the top story in the CFL right now? What's the top story in the CFL? He goes, I have no idea. And he's a season ticket holder. in the CFL. Next guy, they all work here, by the way. He said Achilles injuries. And I'm like, sure. There was one on Monday. The Riders had, one 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
These are CFL fans. What's the stories in the CFL right now? I'd love to know. Yeah, I do host a show on another television channel about the Rough Riders. It's not like there's nothing going on. You got to dig deep to find the stories, but overall it's kind of sleepy. What's the number one story in the country right now? Is Carey Price going to go to the Seattle Kraken? That's what everybody's talking about all day.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this. In my time, this is what I would have done in my 20 years as a play-by-play voice in the CFL, especially over the last decade. I would have lobbed a Molotov cocktail over the border into Alberta. I would have said something about Bo Levi Mitchell. And he would have snapped and gone crazy, and all of a sudden, blah, 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 front page news. Or I would have just said, I would lob something over the other border at Winnipeg and just said something about Winnipeg. Poke fun at their Grey Cup drought or something. You know what I mean? And let's get it going. Nobody's doing that anymore. And they don't want anybody to do that anymore, by the way. That's why I was thinking in the shower this morning, I have literally nothing to do with the CFL anymore.
Yeah.
I have no official role whatsoever. And I think they're fine with it. I think I'm fine with it. But it's like, who's stirring it up? And you had some points.
Well, somebody needs to. You know, when I'm looking at CFL.ca and they're trying to provide some coverage, then there's some coverage there on the site. Not a lot, but Darrell Walker shows up in Edmonton. And that's big news, right? And,
yeah.
You know, we should be dissecting what that receiving core looks like, but we're not even getting that out of Edmonton, right? It's not hitting our timelines.
No.
Like, I want to know what's going on in Toronto with the Argos receiving core, because that's, how many times have I said that that's the most fascinating position battle that I'm interested in the preseason or the training camp here in the Canadian Football League, but I can't find that info. So it becomes really, really tough to follow the league for us to talk about it on a daily basis. And as a national show covering a little bit of the CFL, a lot of the NHL, you know, a little bit of the NFL, we rely on reporters in all of these communities to provide that info, and then we can analyze it and debate it and bring them on, but we're not getting enough of that coverage. It's tough.
Yeah. So from the viewers, Sinclair Russell, I believe he's in Ontario. He says, sucking your thumb in the corner at 8 a.m. That's awesome. From Mike Blackbird in Toronto, the story in the CFL is no story at all. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the story is coaches are evaluating players ahead of season openers first week of August. That's all it would seem. Well, they use a slapshot line. Well, that's not much to go on, Reg. That's boring. Let's do a little Bobby the Brain. No, let's not. Let's move on and talk about other things. Sheldon Winans watching on Facebook. He says, sadly, the CFL is becoming like plain yogurt. This needs to change. Preaching to the choir, bro. From Mike, the Argos fan in Toronto. Did Martavis make it? We don't know. Martavis Bryant, did he show up? Who's talking about it? I was working out this morning, going back and forth between Sportsnet Connected and SportsCenter, and there was nothing on the CFL, nothing that I saw.
It should be every day.
It should be every day.
He's still there, and that's the news for the day.
My God, they're talking about Aaron Rodgers for 2 hours every day on ESPN. Every day. And it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's not the Packers' fault. It's just, what is going on?
Darrell Walker showing up at, Elks camp and being on the field should be a leading story in the Canadian Football League. Should be a leading story on TSN. Martavis Bryant, is he across the border? Is he not? Right. That should be one of your lead stories.
Habs for Life 41, watching in Vancouver currently, writes into the show and says, Rod, is there any info for the Lions requiring double vaccine to get into BC Place? I don't know. Ask them. See how this goes?
Mm-hmm.
Call them. We don't hear from these teams. We hear from the NHL teams, and we certainly hear from the WHL teams, which is the breaking news today, right?
That's right.
Okay. Let's take a timeout, and we'll be right back. It's just me and him for all of the next segment because we're just settling into it today. So take a sip of your coffee. And by the way, like I said, I didn't have the internet going here initially. Can you believe that? How did we ever survive? I once knew a kid Darren that lived 5 hours without Wi-Fi. 5 hours he went without Wi-Fi.
What?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
What a story.
I know.
How about that?
Like you should be the poster child for UNICEF or something. 5 hours without Wi-Fi. It was a car ride. Can you believe it? The warm-up's brought to you by Ecol Electric. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center. Ecol Electric, let's get to work. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furness Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. How do you like the Seattle Kraken jersey on the desk? What do you think?
I think it looks awesome.
I think it looks awesome, too.
Yeah.
We have a live studio audience. What do you think, Dustin? Hey, amazing, he says. One of our curling guys is joining us here shortly. So, as we say out here in the West, the horse is out of the barn, okay? It's gone. Not coming back. And what I mean by that is all these Kraken picks are being released this morning. Here's my thinking. I'm listening to NHL radio this morning, as I always do. Scott Laughlin, love that guy. And Mike Johnson, MJ, really love that guy. And when they were signing off their show, Scott Laughlin says, I'm sure that all the players that have been chosen, because by 10 a.m. Eastern, the Kraken had to have their picks in for the expansion draft. Scott's like, I'm sure those players will all be informed throughout the morning that they're now Kraken property. I'm like, no. This would just stay in-house, wouldn't it? In the NHL office, wouldn't it? Like, because we've got a primetime television special tonight on Sportsnet that we're doing. We've got the Rod Pedersen Show has a watch party at the Four Seasons Sports Palace. We can't tell these players because people can't keep their mouths shut, even about the truth. So there's no way. Let's just wait until after the TV special to tell the players. Do you think they told the players and that's how this got out?
That's one way. Absolutely. And those players would tell their teammates, and their teammates, you don't stay quiet about it. There's no penalty if you tell somebody. So that's how it's all relationship business, and it leaks out, and away you go. If I'm doing it, I would have done it a lot like you do in the NFL draft. What does Jerry Jones do in the NFL draft? 60 seconds before he makes a selection, he calls that prospect and says, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. Your name's about to get called. And the kid starts crying, and away you go. That's what I would be doing tonight, right? At 8 Eastern, at 7:55 Eastern, I'd be making that call, being like, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. And I'd start picking up the phone and making those calls. That's when I would tell the players. I don't want them to hear it on national TV, but I'm not telling them at 7 in the morning or 10 in the morning.
Well, maybe they were. I don't know. But again, the cat's out of the bag. Carey Price not selected. And listen, Clark, would you mind putting this up on the monitor? Because it's all raining down now who these picks are. Mark Giordano, the captain of the Calgary Flames, gone, as called by Rich Sutter here yesterday. And I'll say this, too. Frank Saravelli, the baby-faced assassin, he's been crushing this. I think, is it Frank that's got the 3 goalies that they've picked? They never took Braden Holtby.
That's right.
Again, they didn't call and ask me. Oh, here it is. They like, Frank Saravelli, is he in the room with them? I'm going to go through here from Frank Saravelli right now on Twitter, the baby-faced assassin. And hey, a big hey to all our viewers in Philadelphia right now, watching on TDS cable. They've selected the Kraken from the LA Kings defenseman Curtis McDermott. I took, with my fantasy team, Austin Wagner, which I assume you did too.
I was going to say, they've got our teams, so we can...
Okay, before we go any further, put our team up because you guys put so much work into this. Would you mind? He's got them. Can you read that out? Is that mine?
Is this Rod's? He's got $12 million of cap space left. He's got Christian Fischer in Arizona, Curtis Lazar, Boston, Brett Ritchie, Calgary, Nino Niederreiter, Giannis Donskoy. I mean, I can go through all these, Austin Wagner. But if you go through who's been spoiled, I can tell you which ones you got right.
Okay.
So you didn't get Austin Wagner.
Clearly.
You took Rocco Grimaldi from Nashville, Andreas Janssen from New Jersey, Jordan Eberle. Of course, you took Eberle in the Islanders. Julian Gauthier in New York, Sam Lafferty in Pittsburgh, Dylan Gambrell in San Jose, Kyle Clifford, St. Louis, Tyler Johnson in Tampa, Carl Hagelin in Washington, Mason Appleton in Winnipeg, Hayden Fleury in Anaheim, which I also believe I took, Colin Miller in Buffalo, Calvin DeHaan, my eyes are not that good, Dean Kukin, Andre Sekera, Troy Stetcher, Chris Russell, Anton Stroman, Brett Kulak, Joshua Brown, Justin Braun in Philly, Travis Dermott of Toronto, Capo Kakinen, and Braden Holtby.
Yeah, mine was basically a WHL All-Star team.
That was pretty good, too.
Of course.
Pretty good.
And yours, quickly, and then we got your team. Because, again, you guys put in so much work into this. Are we going to put it up on our Instagram?
Yeah, it's going to go. It's absolutely going to go on our Instagram. The goalies I had, Kakinen, Joey Decord, and Chris Dreger. So I got 2 of the 3 goalies. They're going to take Vanacek, not Capo Kakinen from Minnesota. So good. You can keep that up while you read them if you want.
Okay. So here we go. So back to Frank Saravelli. Mild surprise from Columbus. The pick is not Max Domi. They have selected Gavin Bayreuther. the Kraken have from the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay.
Carson Soucy from the Minnesota Wild. They've taken Jonas Donskoy from Colorado. I had him.
We all did, yeah. It's pretty automatic.
There's the three goalies, as you said. Dreger from Florida, Vitek Vanasek from Washington, and Joey Dackard from Ottawa. Joey Dackard, he's only played one game, right?
Young goalie. They're pretty high. I think he's pretty good.
Cheap. That's
too.
what it is.
He'll be in likely the American League starter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Do we agree with these picks? We don't have them all, by the way. But so Janelle, she's watching in Saskatoon. She says, "So you're saying I can have a free night and don't even have to watch? Kind of ridiculous." That's my point. I'm just wondering if the NHL could in any way be happy with this all being spilled today. I know I wouldn't be. Sportsnet can't be very happy with it.
I know.
And Frank Saravelli's now working on Sportsnet from what I saw. Todd Pinkney, Pink's watching. One of our P1s, he says, Carson Twarynski from Philadelphia went to Seattle. So help us out. This is a coffee get-together here. This is what we do. Thanks, Pinks, for that. And where's the guy, I. Sinclair, in Ontario? He said, you can put on the jersey. He says, you can be a fan. Here, on this historic day for the NHL and the Seattle Kraken, you can put on the jersey. That's not being a fanboy. That's being a monument of a new franchise, in my opinion. Maybe I'll put it on. How about that?
How about that?
If I pulled it off all these helmets, it would knock it all over the...
It's like the game Operation to pull that off the desk without wrecking everything.
Jenga.
In the commercial break, maybe.
Wasn't that the one, Jenga?
Jenga, yeah.
Who did the Leafs lose? The guy they just McCann, right?
Jared
Who they
McCann.
just got?
Yeah, Jared McCann.
John in Winnipeg's watching. John, he says, I hope Winnipeg doesn't lose Appleton. They did. Okay, Mason Appleton's gone.
I had them taking Dylan DeMello, but Appleton's good.
Tank Abbott's watching from Canada's Energy City. It says, this is like when Justin Dunk was ruining the CFL draft and Rod was losing it on his old show, wondering how he was getting the info. Here's the thing, by the way, on that. Justin and I barely knew each other at that time. Now we're super close friends. I wasn't mad at Justin whatsoever at all. But I was sitting there. Yeah, so thank you, Tank, for listening to that. I was doing the local radio show at that time, at that point of my life, trying to do a draft special. And here's Dunk at 3 down tweeting out all the picks before even TSN had them. And I'm just literally going, what the hell's going on here? Why are we doing this? And by the way, TSN and the CFL have not forgiven Justin Dunk since for doing that. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So there's more to this than that. Thank you for reminding me of that, Tank. But now I think that the NHL and Sportsnet would be furious that this is all getting out today, ahead. And it's the players aren't leaking this to Frank Saravelli. It's somebody in the NHL office. Has to be.
I don't know. You know, those insiders, they do a tremendous job of having great relationships. And it's not just relationships with the league level. It's not just relationships.
Keep talking.
You just blew my mind. It's not just relationships. He just surgically removed that jersey, like from the top of those helmets.
Keep talking.
But it's not like it's just the league office, okay? They have relationships with the players, with families, with friends, with alumni. But, you know, it might be a relationship with a player who didn't get picked. And it's, hey, I didn't get picked. I'm safe, buddy. I'm safe. Here's who got picked, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's him, not me. And then that gets leaked out. And, you know,
wow.
That's how the game works.
Jen from the Four Seasons writes in. She says, I'm annoyed. I hate the spoilers. Yeah, I put it on. Listen, you're not very often going to see me in a hockey jersey or a football jersey on this show because I'm not fanboy. But it is.
It looks good.
If I may say so. It looks tight. It looks fresh.
Yeah.
Gratuitous shot. Seattle Kraken. Now, if anybody writes in here with fake news, with an incorrect pick, you will be banned and you will be beaten at midfield of BC Place.
How about that?
By me. Because I'm looking at some of these picks that are coming in, and, well, for example, Habs for Life says the Habs lose Fleury. She's talking about Cale Fleury?
Yeah.
They took Cale Fleury?
And
How about that? The pride of Carlisle, Saskatchewan.
well, and
All of a sudden, I'm a Kraken fan.
I know, and you did too. I think Hayden going out of
I took
Anaheim.
Hayden, yes, his
Right?
brother, yeah.
Yeah, I took
Wouldn't
Hayden,
that be
too.
something?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I also took Jake Bean. Was my pick from Carolina.
Beaner. Shonovan's Cole Lind. I saw that.
I had Cole Lind.
Wait. The Kraken can't have more Saskatchewan players than the Vegas Golden Knights. Stop it.
Uh-oh. I picked Cole Lind out of Vancouver. He's a really, good young
They took
player.
him, right?
Yeah, they did take him.
Okay. So Habs for Life 41. He mind screwed me. He had the right pick talking about Cale Fleury.
Yeah.
And then he says that they should take Anaheim's Fleury. So he, regarding beating him at midfield at BC Place, he says, will the roof be open or closed? Pa-dum-bum. Who's Jake Bean with? Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody from Wayne in Victoria, BC, that's a sharp jersey for sure. Even Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, that looks good, Rod. I, Sinclair Russell, that looks awesome. Jennifer from the Four Seasons, looks good on you. Ha-ha. Time for Vegas to step up, I think.
Uh-oh. I know, right?
I'm liking the colors. Anyways, we're getting through this. Yeah. So why are we even waiting until 8 p.m. Eastern for the Sportsnet special tonight? And all that anybody cares to know is that Carey Price is not a Seattle Kraken. Wow. Thank you, Clark. Pierre LeBrun saying that it is indeed Hayden Fleury from the Anaheim Ducks, the pride of Carlisle, Saskatchewan, and his brother Cale from the Montreal Canadiens going there too. So there's officially 3 Saskatchewan kids on the Seattle Kraken, and they're not even done yet.
Wow.
From Sean McCormick, he's watching in the Game Plus studios, downtown Toronto. He says, I'm hoping that there are some good live trades tonight to make the experience more exciting during the draft show. The highlight of the night is going to be the boneless Greek ribs at the Four Seasons Sports Palace for our watch party tonight.
Ooh, and the pizza.
Mike Blackbird in Toronto says, Canada's team, the Seattle Kraken.
He's trying.
We're starting it now. Canada's team, the Seattle Kraken, we're starting it today.
There's no schedule yet, right? So we've seen the preseason. When they meet, that's what will be on the line. Okay? The winner of the first meeting between Seattle and Vegas will be Canada's team.
The title's on the line.
Literally, we'll create a little trophy.
They already don't like each other, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm writing something down.
I love it.
We're going to take a time out. When we come back, a sports update. Got a couple special friends going to join us, too. You're watching the RP Show on a very exciting day, Seattle Expansion Draft Day. We're on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
All right, don't adjust your sets. I'm wearing a hockey jersey for the first time ever on this show because it is Seattle Kraken expansion draft day. And while it was not to be announced until 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern, all the picks have been unveiled. A simple Twitter search will divulge them for you. I thank Todd Pinkney for sending me the entire list right now. We're going to, we'll be spending more time on this, obviously. But with all these picks, there's 3 Saskatchewan kids picked already on the Kraken. And I said, maybe now they're Canada's team. And where's the viewer here? Riley Clement writes in, he says, I don't even get mad anymore when you guys say Vegas is Canada's team.
How about that?
We might be changing that up. Vegas has got to step up. And we welcome to the program Dustin Mickish, and Matt Dunstone's going to be joining us as well from the great Team Dunstone, the provincial curling champions. I said to Dustin, well, you, Dustin, said, pull that mic right up to your mouth if you don't mind. You said, quite a day in the NHL, and I said it's July and we're talking winter sports. How about that?
How about that? Hey, Rod.
Yes.
Good to be chatting winter sports in July.
Yeah, well, it is. We got a few moments for you guys. Hey, how you doing, Matty?
Roddy, good to see you, man.
Always good to see you. How's the summer going?
Oh, very good. Getting a little bit of golf in, doing a little bit of work, and obviously got some curling stuff going on behind the scenes here.
Right. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it here today, and we'll come around on the other sports topics. You guys are here for a reason. Maybe you, Matt, do you want to make the announcement, or Dustin? How are you guys going to handle this?
You know, let's let Dustin do it. He was the guy who came up with the idea, and you know, he's our boss here. He's running the ship, so I'm going to let him do this.
You're the boss. Okay.
I'm one of the event chairs with Matt Dunstone and Rylan Kleider. And today we're super excited to announce a new U30 curling competition called the SGI Canada Best of the West.
Wow.
So we are going to be bringing the top U30 men's, ladies, and doubles teams to Saskatoon at the end of April 2022.
Whoa. Whoa. That is huge news. And now this is not sanctioned by Curling Canada or the Saskatchewan Curling Tour. Tell me about that. Who's going to be eligible? What names would we expect are going to be in this event?
Yeah, so we haven't sent out the event invites yet, but we'll have Canadian champions, World Junior champions at the event, U Sport champions, college. So we'll be bringing them all to Saskatoon at the end of April.
Wow. Hey, Matt Dunstone, talk about the size of this, the magnitude of this, and what it means to be participating in this. This is big on the curling landscape.
Very excited about it. We've kind of obviously had some time over COVID, and we talking with Dustin and Ryland Kleider as well. We're identifying a big age gap in this area in curling, and the average age at the Brier and the Scotties this year was 36 years old and 32 years old respectively, and that's a pretty big time period from the time you graduate out of juniors at 21 years old to 32 or 36, right? And, we are just trying to find different ideas to kind of make that gap a little bit closer and give these younger curlers bigger experience, playing in your provincial colors and on television. And so when they do eventually get to those national championships, it's not as big of a stage for them once they get there. So we're very excited about this. And like you said, it's not sanctioned by anybody as well. So we have full reign on kind of how we run this thing. And my favorite part about this event is we're running it like a Continental Cup. So while teams are going to be participating individually amongst themselves in men's, ladies, and doubles, we have a point system set up. So you're actually competing for your province. So the winner of the Best of the West will be BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, or Manitoba. It's not just a single team.
Dustin, you've got a video, I understand. Before we roll it, what can you tell us about it?
We do. We have an exciting promo video, so I think let's take a look and watch.
Okay, let's have a look, guys. All right, sounds good. Well, that is absolutely huge. Guys, what else would you like the people to know about this event today?
Maddie, I'll let you take that one there.
Yeah, like Dustin said, U30 from across the country. And right now we're picking teams based on a selection criteria. Teams are going to get their invitations within the next month or two. Just kind of starting out, we figured this was sort of the best way to go about it, especially with there not really being a season last year. It was kind of tough to come up with an equitable way to have a qualification process. But long term, as this event begins to establish itself, we want to begin to have ways to actually qualify and get into this. And we want this to be an event that U30 curlers across the country strive for. And I say the country because, our goal, our vision for this is to not just stay within the Best of the West, but we hope this begins to catch wind. And maybe we do begin to see a Best of the East one day. And, that was just obviously to get a whole nation involved right away for us. That was quite big. But, our end goal, our end vision for this is to have the entire nation be involved with this event and be able to use this as a stepping stone for our U30 curlers across the country.
Awesome, guys. Is there a website, Dustin, or where can people go for information they didn't pick it all up right here?
Yep, they can go to thebestofthewest.ca to get all of the information there. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to add on to what Matt was saying, was that this event is supposed to be meant to kind of bridge that gap. And we talked about that age with the Brier and the Scotties and how there's 10 to 15 years of kind of battling it out between juniors and the Brier Scotties, those kind of level of teams. So we're trying to provide that more opportunity past January, February, extend the curling season a little bit longer, just so these other teams can have something meaningful to play in, represent their province, show off their sponsors. Yeah, and that's kind of our goal for the event.
Way to go for pulling it together. Bestofthewest.ca. Maddie, always good to see you. Enjoy the rest of the summer. We'll see you in here next time, and thanks for the time today.
Roddy, before we go, I got to ask. I haven't looked to see who the Kraken have picked yet. Who got taken from the Jets? I need to know this now.
Mason Appleton. is gone.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that.
Yeah, he's the best player that they left available. So there you go. We got the list right here. Thanks, Maddie, and thank you, Dustin. It's all probably Kraken the rest of the way, and Ian Furness will be joining us in hour 2 from ESPN 710 Seattle. We'll be right back. We got a sports update coming up, too. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furness Trade and Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. We got the Moose back in here. And again, do not adjust your sets. I'm wearing the Kraken jersey. This was awarded, by the way, as a prize to one of the winner of our playoff pool. Is he got to come down and get it?
Well, now that the expansion, we've used it for everything we need to use it for.
We've used it for all the photos.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, game worn. It's worth more now. Hey.
All I think about is
Dennis Hull.
Yes.
Might as well say it, right?
You did before. It's not the first time on this show.
Prehistoric times, pre-COVID, we were at a sports banquet in Delisle. And who was speaking?
George Larocque, Theo Fleury, Dennis Hull.
Dennis Hull. And it was a replica jersey just like this of Dennis Hull, i.e. pulled off the rack.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going very hot for bids,
live
right?
bids.
Yeah, live bids. So he took the sleeve of it and wiped it between his legs and went, game worn.
Now it's game worn.
Ding, 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 ding. And then
bids went up.
I think it went for like $3,000.
Yeah.
How about that?
We are going to have a party tonight. We're having a party at the Four Seasons Sports Palace anyways at 6 p.m. Mountain for this draft party, watch party, but it's not even news because all the picks have been spilled. And I would think the NHL and the Kraken are furious about it, and Sportsnet too. Breaking news. This is interesting. I gotta just say this for our hockey fans. I'm reading it from a news release. Colin Priestner, general manager and president of the Saskatoon Blades, announced today Brennan Sawney has been hired as the 18th head coach in the club's 57-year franchise history. Sawney joins the Blades after spending the last 4 years as the head coach for the Duke Dangers of the Ligue Magnus, the top pro league in France. The 34-year-old from Maple Ridge, BC, began his WHL career as a left winger for the Everett Silvertips in 05-06. And been coaching ever since. I wish him well. My thing is, where's Killer Kaminsky's name on this? Killer Kaminsky, Blades great. 1 year he coached in the SJHL, and he was the coach of the year. 1 year. Spent a few years prior to that in Fresno, the Western States Hockey League. But that's just me. I don't know Brennan Sawney. Maybe he's going to be the next Scotty Bowman. For his sake, I hope that he is. But I think that history, when you got a guy like Killer who's qualified, and there were other names involved. Tim Hunter. Everybody thought Kelly Buckberger stepping down in Tri-City was headed to Saskatoon. So again, nothing against Brendan Sawney. I just don't know the guy. I hope he does well. But I hope that Killer Kaminsky did get a really good long look from the Saskatoon Blades. But that's just kind of the way ownership is now in sports. The history of the franchises doesn't mean as much to some ownership groups as others. Fair?
It's fair.
That's all that I have to say.
That's fair. Everybody's got a different reason for doing what they're doing, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, everybody's got to get their first opportunity to make their mark, right?
From Todd Pinkney, he says maybe the watch party / show should have been at the Four Seasons this morning. Live picks and brunch. Well, if we'd known that somebody was going to spill the beans, we probably would have. Like literally. This draft special on Sportsnet tonight is
Yeah, we don't even need the volume up. We're going for ribs and pizza now.
That's
literally. We're just inviting all of you to join us for ribs and pizza.
Diet Coke all around. Scott Isbister writes it on Facebook and says, is there any internet video simulcast of the green and white game on Saturday, July 24th? Again, don't know. Ask the Rough Riders. But if I had to put a bet down, the answer to that would be no. Because for many, many years, I tried to get them to live stream the green and white game, and it was a big fat no. As a matter of fact, the year that Vince Young tried out for the Rough Riders, I was in the press box at SMF Field. You were probably, do you remember that?
I remember.
They sent up a guy to watch me all game to make sure that I didn't put it on Facebook Live. I'm like, there are 5 people deep around the end zones here. The stands are full. Let's show the world Vince Young's here. They're like, shut up, Rod. Do what you're told. Hence why I'm sitting here today. Ian Furness, next hour from ESPN Seattle, talking Kraken. We'll be back after this break. You're watching on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Overall, with the protected list being announced on Sunday, who are the names that might be called tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think if you're looking for a guy to put on the billboards going I-5 in Seattle, Everett, you're looking at Mark Giordano on being one of those boards pretty quick.
How about that?
And I'd be floored if Seattle didn't already have him flying in today and have his jersey ready for him, and he's walking on stage tomorrow.
Good morning, Rod Squad.
Except this afternoon in the East.
I know.
I just picked that up.
I know.
How about that?
We're going to have to look into that. I think we're going to have to. Fun.
It's okay.
It was fun.
It's all good. Welcome to Hour 2 of the Rod Pedersen Show. We're on the Game Plus TV network, your favorite podcast. We're also live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And this second half kickoff is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, home of the Seattle Kraken fan club, the UFC, and tonight's watch party for the Seattle expansion draft, 6 p.m. Mountain. And so that's the big news today. It's a bit of a bummer. And that's why I'm wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey today. It's the only day I think that you're ever going to see me in a sports jersey here, because I just said I'm not fanboy. I'm somewhat credible here, I would think. But I got swept up in this. It's exciting. We don't have expansion drafts forever. You know, that's why it dawned on me that people are so excited, Moose. We haven't had one since 2017, and before that, 20-some years?
Been a while.
Ish?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So here are the picks, except for this. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, where did it go? It's going to be kind of anticlimactic tonight at the Four Seasons. I wouldn't go that far. We're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
The highlight will be the company. From Jim Wagner watching on YouTube. Come for the Kraken draft, stay for the dry ribs. May I suggest a rib off between the Mad Greek and the Four Seasons? A rib off. It sounds painful.
I know.
How about that?
A rib off?
Maybe what we'll do is we'll tell our server, bring us whatever pizza you want, and that'll be our expansion draft.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have some excitement.
Brady's watching on Facebook. He says, it'll still be cool to see all the Seattle legends and celebrities call the selections. Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be great. There's just going to be no suspense to the whole thing. And one more. Jason Wall says, Seattle surprise. No, not that. Mike Blackbird says, wish the CFL was having an expansion draft. Again, to quote Forrest Gump, I don't know what to say about that. They aren't. What are they doing? So here are the picks. Without further ado, are you ready?
Yes.
This is the depth chart, and thank you, Todd Pinckney, once again for sending it to me. Your top line, centered by Kelly Yarncroc. They took him from Nashville, flanked by Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann. Second line, Yanni Gord at center, flanked by Mason Appleton and Eunice Donskoy. Third line, what's this kid's name? Is it Morgan Geeky?
Yes.
Centering Bastian from the Devils and Brandon Tanev from Pittsburgh. This is where we're getting into household names that aren't even household names in their own house.
Well, we're talking about this in the back and having the conversation, and you know that some of these players, there's been side deals that says, hey, look we'll flip you this, and you're not going to take these players. You're going to take one of these guys, and that's why you're getting some lesser-known names on these lists.
Yeah.
They're not going to play. Yeah.
Fourth line center, True. They got him from San Jose.
Yeah.
Tworinsky on the left side, Cole Lind on the right. And the extra forward, the 13th forward, is Tyler Pitlick from the Coyotes. On the blue line, they've got Mark Giordano off the Flames. This morning, they signed Adam Larson, the former Oiler, at 4 years, $4 million a year. And then the next pairing, they've got Dunn. They got him from the Blues. Jamie Alexiak from the Stars, the big rig. Lazon out of Boston. Saucy from Minnesota. McDermott from the LA Kings. Cale Fleury from the Montreal Canadiens. Bayreuther from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the three goalies are Dreger from Florida, Vanasek from Washington, and Decord from Ottawa. So,
how about that?
This all started, the Avalanche started to spill whatever time it was, around 9 this morning. Pierre Lebrun from TSN, their insider, saying that Carey Price will not be selected by the Seattle Kraken. And can I say one more time, this is it'd be easier to say why they would pick him versus why they wouldn't. There's so many reasons why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Too much money, potential injury history, or current injuries maybe. But more than anything, this is what sealed the deal for me. Montreal never thought they were going to lose him. They never thought they were going to lose him when they left him unprotected. There's no way. And maybe Bergevin has a deal ahead of time with the Kraken that he knew something.
Yeah.
Because if Montreal, and as we learned 2 weeks ago, we've got a ton of viewers in Quebec. You people in Quebec have to agree with me. What would you have done if they had lost Carey Price? For nothing. You'd have burned down the Centre Bell. I'd like to hear from you right now. If you're watching on Videotron's your cable carrier, or Eastlink cable, or Rogers, you're watching on Game Plus, write me 306-840-8777. Were you people in Eastern Canada, Habs fans, worried at all that you were going to lose Carey Price? Because not for 1 sec. The second I saw he was unprotected and that he waived his no movement clause, I never once thought he was going. Now, you, sir, said there's always a chance, and there is always a chance.
There is.
But you didn't think he was going.
Originally I thought maybe they should take him, and I put him in my team. But then as you start to build a team around him, I'm like, it's just really hard to make this make sense. I wanted to. If you could pick and there was no salaries, I'd want Carey Price. Why wouldn't you? And you could take a young goalie like Decor. But it's not about that. Once you start penciling him in and trying to fill out your roster, you realize really, really quickly that you just can't do it. You can't do it. It sounds great, but you just can't do it. And logic takes over, and you take somebody else. And so they chose Drieger over Holtby and, over a couple other options, Martin Jones or whoever, or Ben Bishop. And you knew they were going to take a young goalie. They decided to take Vanacek over Kakinen, and maybe there was a deal with Minnesota in place to protect their young star. But that's the way it goes. Yeah, Carey Price was a real long shot.
This is great. I love the interactive portion of what we do here and involving you, the viewers. And Habs for Life, watching in Vancouver, says, "In Bergevin we trust." And then in brackets, "but not 6 months ago." LOL. What did our good friend Bobby Merrier say? In Montreal, they're either kissing your ass or biting your ass. And they've gone both sides in 6 months on Bergie.
It's like goes with the sun like every 12 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like it moves quick.
Hey. Bubba O'Neill's watching. Hey, Clint. Says, FYI, guys, the Tiger Cats open practice on Sunday sells out in less than 24 hours. Wonder if the Argos could do that. LOL. Oh, he's got to get that ribbon in there, or the Argos. Can you guys live stream these games? Even if it's Facebook Live, can you do it? Would you do it? I think we'd all like to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably going to go to the one this Saturday here, $5 at the door with Raz. So John Ohm watching in Winnipeg. Wait, that wasn't. He says Mark Giordano to be the Kraken's first captain. Not necessarily. Yeah, he was the captain of the Calgary Flames. He went today to the Seattle Kraken, but let's get everybody in a room first. Let's get through training camp first, and then we'll decide. I always like the team vote idea of who should be the captain.
Yeah,
not appointed by the coaches.
You get through camp and off-ice activities and all these things the team's going to go through, and then you do a vote before you get into the season. Who's going to be your captain? I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's dying with my headphones. Is this true? Chris Bird, the Argos fan, says the Ticat tickets were free, by the way. Bubba, are you pulling on my leg? It's not a big deal if they all sold out then within 24 hours if they're free.
Now it'll be a bigger deal if they all show up.
Jason in Red Deer writes in and says, nice jersey, Rod. Whose name you got on the back?
Kraken. There you go. Nice. Get your little yoga in this morning.
Number 32.
How about that?
Oh, that felt good. That reminds me, by the way, when I was at the racetrack the other night, I was, when I do go to the races with our guy Jared Dumba, the hockey insider here on the program, the last time we went, he was like, there goes Kelly Rudy. Wayne Gretzky's pulling into the lead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 11:11, by the way. What are you talking about? And he goes, well, the cars with the numbers. So the other night, that's what made me think of the 32. There was a race car named 32 at the Motor Speedway here. And then the one in the Energy City that we were at, I'm like, there goes Milt Stiegel. 85. It makes it a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah. That's cool when you start to associate all those numbers. But that's what hockey guys do, right? And football guys do that too a little bit with football numbers. And, hey, that's the way when you see numbers, you equate. I'm sure Jordan sees football numbers and thinks that's Bobby Labonte driving around or running up and down the field, right?
Cameron Nelson, hey, Mountain Tate, watching on YouTube says, woohoo, 11:11. Cameron Nelson says, thoughts on Appleton over DeMello? All I can say about that is, to me, Mason Appleton was the best player left available by the Winnipeg Jets. So if I'm the Seattle Kraken, I'm taking the best player left available at the right price. So what do you think, Cameron Nelson, about Appleton over DeMello? Let's hear from Winnipeg.
Everybody fills a role, okay? Everybody fills a role. And so if you've got Dylan DeMello penciled in as a 3-4 defenseman or a 5-6, let's say you've got a pencil in as number 4, but you maybe took Shane Gostisbehere out of Philly as your second-pairing defenseman. You can't just say, well, we're going to take the best and we're going to have all these, second-pair defensemen playing in a 6 role, because your 6 role, you're only allocating $800,000-900,000 or $1.1 million. So it's all about how Ron Francis wants to construct this team. It's not that they necessarily left a better player off the board. It's all about how they fit into their roster, right? He's got somebody else to fill in a spot that you've got DeMello penciled in for. So it's all preference, and there's also trades that we don't know about, protecting players too.
Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says it sucks to lose Appleton, but keeping DeMello is huge. That's a really good way of looking at it. They're both good players. Okay? And the fact that Winnipeg had to give up somebody that they didn't want to give up is a pretty good thing, actually. That tells you that you got a lot of depth. I mean, you look at some of these teams, man. Detroit, Arizona, Edmonton, dare I say. It's like,
you look at their expansion roster and you're like,
that's what I mean.
Pass.
Right.
Right.
Now, with this roster, is it striking fear in the hearts of anybody? Really? Like, Seattle's not making the playoffs in the first year, let alone going to the Stanley Cup final like the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm sorry. Now, when you looked at that Golden Knights roster on draft night, I don't see a Marc-Andre Fleury here, though.
That's the question. Is Drieger committee be the guy? He played in the playoffs. He had some time in the playoffs. He was really good. Didn't play a lot in Florida, but he was good. But you're right, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's exactly what we said about Vegas. We looked at that roster and said, well, they got some young pieces, but they're not going to be a playoff team. This is going to be a 3-4 year project. We'll see what they do with trades. They've got all these great draft picks, so they're going to use those, and they're going to be good once those draft picks get into the organization. Lo and behold, these guys knew what they were doing, and they had good players. And so we might be looking at this unsexy, Kraken roster and be like, I don't like a lot of these names. But Ron Francis might be sitting there thinking, you will in 12 months from now. You'll be talking about this team. So who knows?
Boom. Squirrel hair. 2 phones going, all kinds of things. Cameron Nelson writes back in on YouTube and says, PEI here, actually. I as well agree with Appleton over DeMello, but also think DeMello comes in at a solid annual average value, and you know what you get. Puck-moving guy who doesn't make mistakes. See, and that's why I asked you what you thought, because you wanted to tell me anyways. See what I did there, Darren?
I did.
Come on. Chris in Toronto says, from Greg Wyshynski on Twitter, I just want you to mention that the Seattle Kraken expansion draft will air at 8 Eastern on ESPN2, and there are still plenty of reasons to watch. Marshawn Lynch, Chris Fowler. I hear a fish will be thrown. Well, of course, he's got to say that. He works for ESPN. And it was hilarious, by the way, this morning on Get Up. Greeny is like, tonight the Seattle Kraken will pick their team at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Coming up, Nick Saban. Blah, 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 blah. It's like he had to read that, and then he couldn't wait to talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
All kinds of talk. And actually, we're going to Seattle next. Head scout in the Western Hockey League, writing me, by the way, he says, Pats fans will know Alexander True. He scored the overtime winner for Seattle in Regina. I was there. Thanks. They got him centering the 4th line here on the Seattle Kraken, former San Jose Shark. I hate to see a grown man cry. I cried that night.
That was tough.
I cried. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. We're going to Seattle next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full-Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furness Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, if you just joined us, the reason I'm wearing a Seattle Kraken jersey today is it is the day of their expansion draft, and I will never wear a jersey. I try to be looking somewhat credible here. But I'm getting swept up in the Seattle Kraken stuff. And Nelson Vo is here, our outstanding content creator, big NHL fan. He has pointed out that, and I didn't know this, Moose, there are 3 teams whose pick from the Kraken have not been divulged yet.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Sabres, Chicago Blackhawks, and Detroit Red Wings. And I had Stetcher from the Wings and Calvin DeHaan and Colin Miller from Buffalo. So who knows? Mostly we've blown our picks up. Do you recall who you had from those?
No, I had Stetcher too, I believe. But yeah, it's not been a great day in terms of
not
our
even
picks,
close.
But yeah, that's what makes this whole process fun.
By the way, Jason Wall watching in Winnipeg, he says, I think the Seattle fan demographic may be a bit more versed in the hockey world than Vegas was, thus not needing to immediately win to fill the seats. Because I said this group ain't making the playoffs. But let's bring in Ian Furness, our good buddy from ESPN 710 Seattle, because he shaved finally. How you doing?
Wrong station, Rod. Rod, wrong station.
What are you now? What are you
Big time
now?
Wrong. Big. I've never been 710. Nobody works there. Come on now.
How about that?
Thought you were KJR switched to ESPN.
No.
Oh, 910.
No. That's a 950 KJR Q13 TV, but that's fine. That's good. That's all right.
Is it good?
Off to a good start.
We're off to a great start.
Off to a rousing start right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Your team going to the Stanley?
Yeah, we don't like those guys. They're it's a acrimonious relationship at best. Kind of like I think Gary Bettman has with GMs around the NHL right now for leaking out all these names. So
I was going to say, can we just rewind this? Ian Furness joins us from ESPN Radio Seattle. Hey, Ian, most of this Seattle team has been divulged here today. Listen, who's upset about this? I know I am.
Well, first of all, again, not ESPN. We have no affiliation with them. Because ESPN should be upset. I mean, they just paid a king's ransom, Rod, for the rights, and this is their first NHL event. And I mean, it's a gong show here, buddy. It's brutal. I mean, it's it's all about ESPN. It's been kind of frustrating for us in the local media, both radio and TV, and whatever station we're working for, because we're kind of just like, oh yeah, you guys, again, thanks for supporting us the last 2.5 years and everything, but ESPN's here, so just stand off to the side. You can't shoot video. You can't do this. You can't do that, because it's an ESPN event. And then all of a sudden today, now I think you guys said it's 27 out of 30. Is that what you guys have right now? 27 out of 30 players,
exactly.
Right? So, I mean, to me, it takes a monster luster off of what should have been a kind of a crazy fun event today. And, because now all of a sudden it's like, hey, from the Calgary Flames, we take Mark Giordano. What a shock. I mean, I never saw that coming. Cole Lynn from Vancouver, stunning development that is. I mean, it's just, Chris Dreger from Florida. Who would have thought? It's a really kind of a weird day in that regard. Now, I guess, and you guys know better because you covered and talked a lot more about Vegas in 2017, but there certainly could be some side deals announced and so on and so forth. But I would just say, and again, Rod, you and I, just from a media standpoint, what a strange day. I thought they would do a better job of keeping this under lock and key. I thought Gary Bettman would say to the GMs, hey, there's going to be hell to pay if you guys start leaking out names, but that's obviously what has happened.
No kidding. And from Jason in Red Deer watching, he says, I'm glad all the picks are being leaked. That way I don't have to watch the much overproduced and overhyped reveal on TV. So it's interesting that you would start there, Ian, from Sports Radio KJR. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about this all day, actually, because I'm like, obviously the NHL must know that this is being leaked. They must not have a problem with it. And now, the way you say it, they should have a big problem with it. But aside all of that, did you think that Carey Price would be selected today?
I didn't, only because I just now whatever smokescreen Montreal may or may not be putting up there with the injuries, the hip and the knee, or a knee and a hip, and it seems like both are being discussed. That $10 million price tag just seems to be obscenely high, and by all accounts they picked up 3 goaltenders. It comes in, I'm guessing, I think it's around $5.5 million, right, for the 3 goalies that they have. With Vanacek, the kid from Ottawa, and then obviously Dreger. So they were able to get 3 netminders for half of the price of Carey Price. Pardon the pun. So that didn't surprise me. I don't think you need a true face of the franchise necessarily when you're sold out the first year or two. I mean, they've got a waiting list that you have to put a deposit down. So selling tickets isn't an issue. Marketing the team outside of that fan base and the regional marketing of the team, I think, is important. So, there's some of the names that I thought they could have gone down and picked up to help that a little bit. But I wasn't really shocked that they didn't get Price. I'm a little more surprised they didn't get one of Tarasenko or Landeskog.
Why do you think they didn't? Let's just go through the roster here, because they got Jordan Eberle. Yeah. I got it sent. There are some names, but do you think they just got too expensive? Like we all did our picks here. I had Tarasenko on it initially, and I had Voracek. And I'm like, whoa, it's up over $100 million here. So what do you think went into this?
Well, this has not been a frugal organization. It's not like they haven't spent money. I mean, the building of the arena, the practice rink, they hired Ron Francis a year before George McPhee was hired in Vegas. So, I mean, they haven't been frugal by any means. And, it's going to be a $2 billion investment all in with the franchise fee, the building, and the practice rink when it's all said and done. So I would never accuse them of being cheap or penny pinchers. I think what you saw today was analytics taking over a hockey organization top to bottom. And I'm sure, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I know that, analytics can be a 4-letter word for a lot of people in sports these days, no matter what the sport is. But I really, truly think that they looked at some analytics, and that's where you see some guys getting picked up that were surprises for all of us. As far as, Landeskog is a two-way street, right? He's got to decide, hey, I want to leave Colorado, a team that can contend right now for a Stanley Cup title, and leave Colorado and go to Seattle. He has to make that decision. It's not just a money decision, as we all know in any free agency. Tarasenko, maybe there's an injury issue there. I think they could have got the defenseman done as well, even with him. So, maybe thrown in there if they want to truly rid themselves of that contract. So that one's a curious one to me. There are some names that surprised me. I thought Voracek from Philadelphia was a no-brainer because he had his best year under Hackstall, and the contract's not that daunting. So, there's a lot of ones that you kind of just raise an eyebrow at, but it's hard because we also know what side – maybe the side deals with the next 24, 48 hours that get announced to kind of change it and clarify things, because what we see on paper now isn't necessarily what we're going to see overall.
Guys, Darren, can you throw that up? Put the camera on Darren, guys, if you don't, on Moose. Put that right in front of you, because I'm not sure if the camera's trained. There we go. 950 KJR, Seattle.
Thank you.
We won't forget.
Thank you. Yes.
Usually I'm good. But you're a dub guy. You're a dub guy, Ian. And I look at this Seattle, I look at Yanni Gourde going from Tampa Bay. Do you not do everything you can do to get Tyler Johnson, a Spokane kid, 2-time Stanley Cup champion? That one shocks me.
Well, again, the price tag there for him is high, and the term left and all that. And Gourde's just a better player. There is a balance. And when I said there's some things you could have done, or, we'll see what they end up doing. If indeed with Carolina it's Morgan Geekie, you had a chance to bring in Niederreiter from Portland, and you're marketing your team in Portland. Again, there's money involved. I understand that, and they're going, they're kind of going down a road that's just maybe his business is indeed separate from the hockey team. But I thought Niederreiter would have been a no-brainer. I thought Ryan Johansson would be kind of a no-brainer. You put those two guys back on a line together. They did pick a dub guy in Cole Lind, who, by all accounts, he's what we would call in baseball a 4A player. So I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my arms around it. I'm trying to look at it from all angles. They did bring in Alexander True from San Jose. He scored the game winner, as you guys well know up there. Scored the game winner in the WHL final a few years ago. So they do have that. They do have that going for them. I thought they go Vanacek. I thought Brendan Dillon was a no-brainer to bring in here, and a top pair defenseman for an expansion team. So, and a former Thunderbird. So yeah, there's ones that are head scratchers. There's no doubt.
Really enjoying the chat, Ian, despite your digs. That was a painful night. Game 6, very painful night. Man, this city was alive with that. What an unbelievable series. So here's another one, and I'm really enjoying the discussion, my friend. So people are saying Mark Giordano, automatic captain of the Kraken. He was the captain in Calgary for many, many years. I say not so fast. What do you think about that?
Well, I guess I would ask you then, who if not him, who? He to me turns into, from what we understand about him, he is, if you wanted to have, or if you need to have a face of the franchise, a guy you can put on the podium, a guy that can, that's going to speak every day and really become that vocal presence in the media for fans, etc. If we go back to Carey Price for a second, people talked about him being that guy. I think anybody who's covered hockey and knows hockey well knows that Carey Price is one of the top flight individuals and human beings in the league. He's just not, the most verbose guy. He's not the guy that you necessarily are going to put on a podium every day. He's not particularly that guy. Giordano seems to be that guy. So I would think it's a no-brainer, but there's a lot of things I thought were no-brainers going into today. And assuming that the list that we're seeing right now, I keep glancing down to see, if it's changed, but assuming we know that list, there's a lot of things that were no-brainers that didn't happen. I would assume Stetzer is still the pick from Detroit. That, to me, seemed like the biggest no-brainer of all, but maybe not as well. But I think Giordano seems to be the guy that you would put up there and kind of make that face early on.
Just before we switch to just a couple other sports topics.
Yep.
Junior fans are different than NHL fans, and I'm just talking about they're used to paying for $20 tickets. So does Seattle, by and large, know hockey? Like, how are they going to feel about this? And if the team's not winning, are they going to support? Like, where do you see this going, Ian, in the next few years?
Well, Rod, I think it's a twofold question. One, as far as winning, it is important. And I think when we all saw, you and me and anybody else that looked at that list when it was made public on Sunday, you looked at that list, and the first thing that came to mind was, wow, there's absolutely no excuse not to put together a team that's arguably the second best team in maybe the weakest division in hockey. That's a playoff team. You have on paper, out of the 669 players available, you have an opportunity to be a playoff team right away. I think it's important for a couple of reasons. I think it's important not because, I'll go back, they've sold out every game. They've got a waiting list for tickets. But we all know that those waiting lists can go by really fast. I mean, we saw that with the Seahawks in the early 90s. I mean, it went away snap of the fingers when the franchise started to suffer. The Sonics and the NBA are going to be back in Seattle at some point, probably within the next 4 years max. When the NBA expands and they come to Seattle, that will be the biggest thing that's ever happened in sports in our city's history. And that probably includes the Super Bowl, the return of the NBA. It's huge. It's the first love here. It's like hockey in Canada. And so the Kraken better be good. They better be competitive. They better have built up a fan base outside of the 17,000 people in the building every night. So I think being good early and having success on the ice, I think it is important just based on what's going to come down the road. And you're still in a competitive market. The NFL is there. It's still the king, always probably will be the king. They'll have 70,000 people every game at Lumen Field. And maybe someday, although this might be doubtful because we've been watching it for almost 50 years, maybe someday the Mariners will be competitive again and draw some fans as well.
Think the Kraken are already sick of hearing you better make the Stanley Cup in your first year? I'm sure they got sick of that a few months ago.
Yeah, it's interesting because Vegas set a bar that was just unrealistic in some ways, I thought. And getting to the Stanley, if we take Stanley Cup out and just saying getting to the playoffs and being a contender, Vegas set that bar, and getting to the Stanley Cup final was even more incredible. But they set a bar that's realistic. When you pay $650 million for a franchise, as Seattle did, I think you should expect to be able to be competitive and good in your first few years. The NHL allowed that with those expansion draft rules. The question right now that we all have, and we won't know the answer until probably February or March, is, did Ron Francis and staff take advantage of that? Again, on paper, and I know sometimes it's big names, but on paper, I think we'd all agree there's some head scratchers. There's some ones you wonder about. Like, what, you go through the list. I mean, there's a lot of guys on there that you say, well, why wouldn't you take this guy? Or why wouldn't you take that guy? And, I just kind of, I wonder if they, I don't want to. I'm being careful how I choose my words, Rod, because it's so early in the process, and we learn this every year with the NFL draft when we do it with the Seahawks. The knee-jerk, instant. We're paid. You and I are paid to give a reaction right away, and we're supposed to come up with an analysis and an opinion right away. And oftentimes, a few months later, you look like a fool. But I look at this and wonder to myself, with all the tools and all the things at your disposal, eye test, analytics, numbers, scouts, etc. Did you do something the Seahawks were guilty of a couple of years after they went to the two Super Bowls back-to-back in 2013 and 2014? In Seattle, the Seahawks had just horrible drafts. But what it was more than anything was they kind of outsmarted themselves. You think you're the smartest guy in the room, and sometimes maybe you're not. And they took a flyer on some guys. They took a chance on some guys, and it just didn't work out. And it set the franchise. They make the playoffs every year, but it kind of set them back a little bit. They missed on a lot of guys. I wonder if that happened with the expansion draft. Did they outsmart themselves being the most analytical-based team in the NHL? You have to wonder, but we won't know them for a few months.
Love the analysis. Next time you're back, we'll chat Seahawks. Ian, thanks for this today. Have a great show.
Anytime.
All
you
right,
bet, Rod.
Ian,
thanks a lot, man. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Ian Furness joining us from 950 KJR, Sports Radio, Seattle. That's the same station that has Fraser Crane in the evenings, I think. When we come back, I'm going to take your questions on today's Seattle Kraken expansion draft. There's some gooders. And I'm going to tell you what I know, and also the newest head coach of the Saskatoon Blades right after this. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio. For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody, on a really big day, really big sports day, hockey day. Seattle expansion draft. Just taking some questions here just ahead of new Saskatoon Blades head coach Brennan Sawney. Somebody says, from Michael Heilman's watching on YouTube, he says, hi Rod, which Flyers player do you see the Kraken drafting? They've already taken him, Carson Twarynski. WHL veteran leaving Philadelphia for Seattle. And Gary Fleming says, Rod, do you think Jordan Eberle is happy leaving a contender in the prime of his career and now moving west to a team starting from scratch? Having not spoken with Jordan Eberle, but have the fact that he's a close personal friend, I don't think he's happy with this today. He loves Long Island, has a young family. You saw him after the Game 7 loss to Tampa Bay in the conference final. He was in tears and couldn't speak. He's got this fire burning in him to come back with the Islanders, and now he's not an Islander anymore. And now he's going to Seattle to play with a team that doesn't look like it's going to be very good for a while. $5.5 million, you can put up with a lot.
You can.
But overall, I don't think Jordan Eberle would be happy to be going to the Seattle Kraken. I shouldn't speak for him. I'm sure at some point he'll speak to this, but that's my take. And we've got more questions and comments to get to, but it's a very big day in the Western Hockey League. The Saskatoon Blades have hired Brennan Sawney as their latest head coach, and he joins us today from the Bridge City. If we can get him on the screen. Coach Sawney, right from his office already. How you doing, Brennan?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. Well, this is a big job today. Before we get into your hockey road and all the rest, how does it feel to be the head coach of the Saskatoon Blades?
Very exciting. Humbled, honored, thrilled. You can use a ton of different words. But overall, I would say the number one emotion is excitement. I'm just so excited to get to work, to talk to the players, to get with Marshy and get organized.
Well, I'm calling up the news release here. It's the top item at SaskatoonBlades.com. The 18th head coach in franchise history. There hasn't been a lot go through there, Brennan. Have you looked at the list, by the way, of coaches of the Saskatoon Blades? It's a pretty star-studded group.
I know recent history more than the past history, but it's a storied franchise with a lot of incredible alumni. So I can only imagine further back in time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just Lauren Mulliken, Daryl Lubanicki, those guys, and done some great things. It is a storied franchise for sure. So you're replacing Mitch Love. And before we look ahead for this hockey club, just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, Brennan. You played the game, obviously, in the Western League, and you've been coaching ever since. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I did 2.5 seasons as a player in Everett, was traded to Red Deer, and Edmonton is where I wrapped up my 20-year-old season in the Western League. After that, I did 5 years at the University of British Columbia. From there, after my 5th year, I started, I had coached minor hockey previous, but I did a year in Hong Kong at a hockey academy, came back, got an assistant coach job with Mitch Love and Kevin Constantine in Everett, and spent the past 4 years being the head coach of Les Ducs d'Angers in the Ligue Magnus in the top French professional league.
So now it leads you to back to the Western Hockey League with the Saskatoon Blades, and you're taking over a club from Mitch Love that had quite a bit of success under him. Talk a little bit about that task ahead of you and what has you excited about this roster.
Yeah, Mitch is a good friend and a great coach, phenomenal coach. I was very lucky to get 3 years of his tutelage. Really, he was kind of like my big brother in Everett, showing me the ropes a little bit. We're kind of cut from the same cloth. Kevin kind of molded us, Kevin Constantine. He was kind of like both of our fathers in the hockey world, and so within that coaching group is also Jay Verity, another phenomenal coach who's in the AHL right now. So we're kind of cut from the same cloth. But I'm not Mitch Jr., so I would say that the competitiveness, the passion, the intensity, the culture, the identity, a lot of that stuff me and Mitch are extremely similar on because we come from a similar background, and we share that philosophy for what the foundation of a hockey team needs to be. But I am going to do things a little bit differently because I'm my own person, my own coach, and so I don't think there's going to be a seismic cultural shift, but it will look a little bit different.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to meet you in the flesh and down here in the Brand Center. Brendan, I appreciate you coming on today. Congratulations on this appointment. It's a huge day, and I wish you all the success.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Brennan Sawney, the new head coach of the Saskatoon Blades. I'm going to get to a sports update here in a moment. Scott Ford writes in. He's watching on YouTube. He says, "Hi, Rod. CFL fans tune in to you to get their CFL news because the mainstream media in our country, particularly where I live in the GTA, does such a poor job. Take it as a compliment. Thanks, Scott." And from Mike Blackbird in Toronto says, "Yes, Scott, exactly. Guess what, guys? It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street when it comes to CFL coverage. And when the Saskatoon Blades call us up and say, we got a major announcement with our new head coach, can we get him on the air? We're going to put him on the air. So if the CFL wants to work with us in daily coverage, that they need to start working with us. Okay? So don't come at me. Which Ken in Saskatoon, by the way, writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, the CFL in general, not just the riders, cannot market their way out of a paper bag. From a full ride ticket for preseason games with no preseason streaming option for casual fans to hiding to do business in the offseason. The product on the field is fantastic. The vast majority of players are great ambassadors for the league during the season. But as you said earlier, what is happening in the CFL now? And this with training camps a week plus old, signed Ken in Saskatoon. So to Scott in Toronto, give us something to talk about, give us some guests, and we'll talk about it. Till then, we're going to talk about what's hot and what everybody else is talking about. And by the way, viewership's higher today than it has been in weeks. So think about that over the next 4 minutes. We'll be right back for overtime, and you're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and Sports Radio 24 hours at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away, ultimatefanzone.ca, or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It's overtime. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing. I can't. It's driving me nuts. I can't. How are you?
I'm good.
We're getting to the bottom of a couple things here today. So Scott Ford, I appreciate him sticking with me. Darren wants to know if you're the same guy that used to run the arena. Are you the same guy, Scott? He says, Rod, the whole Kraken draft leaking today is entirely about the media digging and finding things out. The NHL and the team have nothing to do with it. I'm not saying the CFL does a great job. Scott, you weren't watching way back at the start of the show in the warm-up when I said I took an informal poll here with our staff. I said, guys, what's the number one topic in the CFL right now? One guy said, I have no idea. And the next guy said, Achilles injuries. That's the topics. Like, what? Give us something. Throw us a bone. And to be honest, the biggest story of the day is all these pics of the Kraken leaking shortly after they were submitted to the league office at 8 a.m. Mountain, 10 Eastern. And then tonight, this big splashy draft show on ESPN2. Let's forget about Sportsnet because we're all going to watch on Sportsnet. But the Americans, they just crapped in their own front yard. That's what the NHL did. Let's just say it the way that it is.
Yeah.
And
the first event for ESPN.
This is a first event, and it's just... So I'm glad that Ian Furness came on here from KJR 950 Seattle Sports Radio and says exactly that. And he dumped all over ESPN. How refreshing is it that the guy's got the nuts to come on and say it the way it is? We hate ESPN. And look what they did here. It's funny, isn't it?
It is funny. It's good.
So I'm just like, if I'm Gary Bettman, I am furious today. And probably wanting to find out how this leaked. Thanks, Ian, for saying it, because I didn't really know. I had my thoughts. By the way, Scott goes on to say, CFL, where'd it go? CFL does a great job promoting their product, because they don't. But the media needs to take some accountability in not doing their job to simply cover the second most watched sport in our country. Scott, what do you want us to talk about? You tell me. What do you want us to talk about? Players are dropping like flies and retiring left and right. What do you want to talk about in the CFL? I'm serious. Anyways, you were going to say something. Sorry, you had something on your mind.
I lost it. Yeah, whatever.
Listen. I'm going to lose my mind here. Because somebody writes in here earlier and says the Rough Riders are having a green and white scrimmage Saturday. Is it going to be live streamed? I don't know. Call the Riders. BC Lions fan writes in here. Do we have to be double vaccinated to go to games? What do I look like? Betty in the ticket office? I don't know these things. Call the team. Because frankly, I'd rather talk about the Seattle Kraken and what's hot today. My very good friend Jordan Eberle got drafted by the team today, and I don't think he'd be very happy that he's there. What do they say? Barking up a dead horse's ass? That's my brother's term, the cowboy. Sometimes when I feel like, I should just stop. And you're sitting here watching me hang myself. You're enjoying this immensely.
I would never let you hang yourself, okay?
Should we face off?
Sure.
We're going to face off for the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw on the Ultimate Fan Zone on will this Seattle Kraken team make the playoffs in year one? Because after looking at this roster, unless the last two picks that we don't know about are going to be Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux, I don't think they're making the playoffs. I'm sorry. I don't think they're making the playoffs in year one. How about you?
I think that they will. I think that they will. I like Ron Francis a lot. I think the culture they'll have in Seattle will be good. I think the fan base will be wild. I think the players will come in with a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. And look at what Montreal did. We didn't think that was a playoff team in Montreal. But when you get a chip on your shoulder and you feel counted out and you need something to prove, they're all NHL players. If you're good enough to play in the NHL, you're good enough to have success. So I think that there's enough there that they'll piece it together. They won't light the world on fire, but I think they'll get in.
You don't seem very convinced to me. But you know what? They got the Vancouver Canucks in their division. And if that's the Pacific Division, which includes Death Valley, that's California, Anaheim, LA, and San Jose, all who missed the playoffs the last couple of years. I just made your argument for you.
You did.
You're welcome. Wait. Face-off is for the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw. Don't want to dine in? The takeout window's now open and delivery is available. Head to the madgreekeatery.com today to check out their menu. And for the Ultimate Fan Zone, shipping Canada-wide. Get official team gear right to your door. Visit ultimatefanzone.ca today. Can I say your number one source for Seattle Kraken merchandise? Let me just get in a couple here. Jonathan Kinder's watching in Kansas City, Missouri. Or as Donald Trump would say, Kansas City, Kansas. He says yes, because the Pacific Division is weak. Jennifer Illingworth says, Ebbs will always have a home in Edmonton, but I do feel bad for him to come so close. From EGA on YouTube, the Rod Pedersen Show is the go-to for any and all sports news, a prominent source. If it wasn't for Mr. Pedersen and company consistently promoting the CFL and Rough Riders, where would we be? Nothing. I'm a hockey guy first. That's what's in my DNA. It's like breathing to me. So guess what? If I had a choice, I'm going to talk hockey 24/7, 365, 8 days a week. There you go. Darren Workman in Salt Lake City. The CFL needs to work on transparency in a big way if they expect single-game betting to generate big money for them. Injury reporting is huge in setting point spreads. Books won't set betting lines without it. And from Wayne in Victoria, BC, Rod, your brother has quite the vocabulary. Actually, no, he doesn't. He just regurgitates the same few things all the time. They just happen to be really good. Okay, Moose, what do you got?
Oh, boy.
Pinckney said, listen, don't get worked up. Just think ribs and pizza.
Yeah,
ribs and pizza tonight. We're still having the watch party.
Oh, yeah.
Nelson, you coming? Yeah, at the Four Seasons Sports Palace tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain. Jonathan Kinder in Missouri. I wish someone in the United States would cover hockey like you do. Well, you'll always have us. See you tomorrow at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain. There you go on KJR.